In this episode, we are going to talk about how pornography rewires the mind. Pornography as a supernormal stimulus. Pornography is not just sexual content. It is a supernormal stimulus, an artificial signal that overwhelms the brain's natural reward systems. In nature, the brain evolved to respond to limited stimuli. Digital pornography removes natural limits by offering endless novelty instant access escalating intensity. The brain reacts more strongly to exaggerated stimuli than to real-life experiences, even when those experiences are healthier and more meaningful. The difference between natural desire and artificial stimulation. Sexual desire is natural and biologically necessary. Pornography, however, separates desire from real connection, effort, and context. Over time, the brain begins to prefer screens over people fantasy, over reality control, over vulnerability. This shift is subtle and gradual, making it difficult to notice until habits are deeply established. Attention hijacking and cognitive load. Pornography competes aggressively for attention. Each exposure trains a brain to seek rapid stimulation, avoid boredom, or stillness, crave constant novelty. This can reduce attention span and increase restlessness, especially during quiet or focused activities. The mind becomes conditioned to stimulation rather than presence. Emotional conditioning and escape patterns. Many users do not turn to pornography because of desire alone, but because of emotional states such as stress, anxiety, loneliness, frustration. The brain learns to associate pornography with emotional escape. Over time, this association becomes automatic, turning pornography into an emotional regulator rather than a conscious choice. Desensitization and reduced reward sensitivity. Repeated exposure to intense stimulation can reduce sensitivity to ordinary rewards. Activities that once felt meaningful, social interaction, achievement, creativity, may feel less satisfying. This does not mean those activities have lost value, but that the brain's reward threshold has shifted. As sensitivity decreases, the urge for stronger stimulation increases. Memory, imagination, and intrusive recall. Pornographic imagery is highly memorable because it activates emotional and visual memory systems simultaneously. This can lead to unwanted mental imagery, intrusive thoughts, difficulty disengaging mentally. The brain replays what it has repeatedly consumed, especially during moments of stress or idleness. Identity confusion and internal conflict. Many people experience internal conflict when their behavior contradicts their values. This conflict can create guilt without understanding, confusion about identity, a sense of losing control. Without proper understanding, individuals may misinterpret this struggle as a flaw in character rather than a predictable psychological outcome. Why awareness alone often comes late. Pornography rarely causes immediate visible damage, which delays awareness. Because the effects accumulate slowly in motivation, focus, relationships, and emotional regulation, many people only recognize the problem after the habit is deeply ingrained. This delayed feedback loop makes change feel more difficult. The brain's preference for familiar pathways. The brain conserves energy by favoring familiar neural pathways. Once pornography becomes a frequent response, the brain prefers it not because it is best, but because it is known. Familiarity feels safe to the brain, even when harmful in the long term. Change requires conscious interruption of these default pathways. The importance of understanding before control. Lasting change does not begin with suppression or force. It begins with understanding how the mind has been shaped, recognizing patterns without self-judgment, separating identity from behavior. Control grows from clarity, not punishment. Preparing the ground for recovery. Before strategies, tools, or rules can work, the foundation must be set. This foundation includes awareness of conditioning, respect for the brain's adaptability, patience with the unlearning process. Only then can meaningful change begin. This episode focuses on what pornography does to the mind. The next episode will focus on how the cycle sustains itself daily and where it can be interrupted.